Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel for another interesting beer review. Thanks for watching. This time with another Helles from Baden-Württemberg from the Brauerei Hürner, founded in 1809, located in the town Lichtenau in the very west of Baden-Württemberg state, so it's to the border to France. Uh, Actually, I'm not sure since it was very hard for me to find information about this brewery if it is brewed in this town or in Ansbach, which is a town in Bavaria, just close to Nürnberg, where Tuscher Brauerei, the big brewery, is located. Also, I'm not even sure if this brewery is a part of Tuscher Brauerei or not. So that's even when I did my research, I'm still unsure. Anyway, I'm gonna do this review of it, and I felt that I wanted to be honest about that I wasn't sure about these things, and maybe you who are watching can give me information. The beer is Hürner Biere Helles, and of course it's their Helles. I'm not even sure if they do have other beers than this one, but it's gonna be interesting to try it. It's Helles Vollbier, as you can see, Vollbier Hell, and the bottle looks like this. You see their crown, and you see Ansbacher Land is it saying on the front label. Here's the back label. Of course, I'm gonna read it for you. Important for me to read as much information as possible about this brewer, since it's a brewer that it was very hard to find information about, as I mentioned. But always right time for Helles, high quality premium Helles from Germany, of course. So gonna be interesting to try it, and I have high expectations of it. Quite good thing that it's hard to find information about it in the way that it shows to me that they care about brewing a good beer instead of screaming on the internet how good they are. They care about making it good instead. So wasn't easy to find this one, but I managed to find it, and of course it's interesting to try different German beers. As you know, that's my big interest, and that's the thing that I'm longing for during the days to record this review and try these fantastic beers. So this one has got 5.1 ABV. Should also show you the cap right here, of course, and you see there is 1809, and I did find some information though, which I'm gonna read for you. A picture as we know it today, a huge grocery store that has been part of the Ansbach cityscape since the end of 2015. Next to it, a gigantic construction site. This is where the Hürner are created, a place to work, live and take a vacation. The name a reminder of the Bygone era, a time when things look very different here. Until April 2013, the former largest Ansbach brewery, the Hürner Bräu, stood on the site of the Brauhausstraße. According to tradition, the site on which the brewery stood was one of the oldest manors in Ansbach. In literature, it was called the Rabenhof and was one of the 3 original courts in Ansbach's history. How the Hürner Bräu came into being. Georg Leonhard Hürner bought the farm in 1806 and founded the brewery, including distillery, in 1809. As was customary at the time, it was a small company that produced exclusively for local needs. It was only when Georg Hürner took over the small brewery business from his father in 1868 that the beer production was gradually expanded and converted to a large factory. The son invested in extensive new buildings and conversions. In the course of this, the Schnapps distillery was also discontinued. A picture book career. Hürner was awarded a silver medal at the Nürnberg trade exhibition in 1882 and subsequently gained such an excellent reputation that the beer was shipped far beyond the borders of Bavaria to Vienna, Austria, America, Paris, and even to the Orient. In 1908, Karl Hürner took over the brewery from his father, in which he had been responsible for the management for several years. The company expanded rapidly in the following years. After several local breweries added, Hürner produced over 62,000 hectoliters per year, which corresponds to 620,000 boxes of beer. The average per capita consumption in Germany is around 100 liters per year. Even after the conversion from a family business to a stock corporation in 1922, the old principles of business continued to apply. Production of good Bavarian beer under the noble management of the Hürner family. The end of the era. In 1994, the brewery in Ansbach was completely stopped at the Hürner beers were brewed in Nürnberg. However, it was far less successful because the Nürnberg water brought about a major change in taste. Grandson Karl Dieter Spranger remembers. Betty and Karl Hürner, retired grandparents of Federal Minister Karl Dieter Spranger, were the last private owners of Hürner. Here retired Federal Minister Karl Dieter Spranger during his studies. With the demolition of the Hürner area, a piece of childhood was also lost for Karl Dieter Spranger. Even today, he often thinks back to the moving times. A highly recognized personality, commercial counselor Betty Hürner. The brewery had been owned by Karl Hürner and his wife Betty since 1908. The two were regarded as highly recognized personalities in Ansbach and were referred to as counselors for their extraordinary social commitment. Hürner's gasoline truck spread fear and terror. Quote, Franconian State newspaper. The first car that rattled through Ansbach's street in 1898 belonged to the brewery director Karl Hürner. He drove a luxurious Daimler-Benz comfortable second S5, which at that time did cost 3,000 marks. For years he was therefore the horror of conservative Ansbach citizens. A look at the neighborhood. Ansbacher Hofbräu was located directly next to the Hürner area. The two breweries existed at the same time and in the immediate vicinity, but never saw themselves as competitors. This was mainly due to the fact that Hofbräu was the smaller brewery from the start. How it all started at Hofbräu. Ansbacher Hofbräu was not only Ansbach's last brewery, it was also the first. In 1666, the first brewery was built in the so-called Margravial kitchen garden. The Margrave himself was the builder. Since 1670, the Hofbräuhaus dominated the north side of Residenzstraße and delivered beer to the court of the English king. What happened next? After a fire in the middle of the 19th century, only a ruin reminded of the brewery. A reconstruction breathed new life into Ansbach's Hofbräu. From 1935, the brewery was initially in the hands of Fechter and Reuter. Until the end of the 80s, Karl-Heinz Reuter and his wife took over the company as limited partners, partial and complementary, full. It brewed. Beer has not been brewed at Ansbacher Hofbräu since 2002. The old rooms were not designed for modern production. The owners could no longer finance the production. What will become of the brewhouse? A long overdue demolition of the Ansbacher Hofbräu was controversial in the past. The reason for this was the brewery's old listed brewhouse. The solution, simple and ingenious. 7 years passed before the Ansbach City Council awarded the long-awaited contract to the Edeka market in 2009. However, another 6 years had to pass before the final opening, as complex planning and construction measures took a lot of time. The wood of the brewhouse was badly damaged. Around 40% had to be replaced. The food market integrated the brewhouse and the facade of the oldest brewery in Ansbach into the new building. Hope for Hofbräu, hope for Hürnerbräu, I mean. In contrast to the Ansbacher Hofbräu, the Hürnerbräu was still part of the cityscape for a long time. The buildings were well preserved and, unlike Hofbräu, would not have had to be demolished. An emotional farewell. Hermann Perschmann, former sales manager. Hürner should not be forgotten. Hürner has always made tradition and regionality, reports Hermann Perschmann. He was with Hürnerbräu for 41 years. Over the years, he has worked his way from girl for everything to sales manager. The brewery was my life. According to him, the company was always very familiar, which brought with it a very good working atmosphere. We even had our own football team. Every first Thursday of the month, people meet today for regulars table. Something is brewing again. 2017, shortly before his death, Hürner's last master brewer gave the Tuscher brewery the original recipe of the last Ansbach brew. It enables the brand to be reintroduced, which is brewed in Lichtenau from now on. There, the water corresponds to the Ansbach water and the Hürner beer tastes the way it once tasted. New life of the Hürner site. As the Hürner brewery was shut down in 1993, the site was unused for years. At the end of 2011, it was finally acquired by Beilbau. After the old walls were torn down in 2013, the Hürnerhöfe construction project could begin. This creates apartments, business premises, and a conference hotel. Construction is still incomplete, but an end seems to be in sight. The newly built buildings no longer have anything in common with the brewery, but the name of the facility is intended to remind us of a bygone era, a time when brewing was still taking place in Ansbach. So, finally I got some things clear about this, that it started in Ansbach in Bavaria, close to Nürnberg, but then had some economical problems, was bought up by Tuscher and placed in Lichtenau in Baden-Württemberg, which I don't know why, because Tuscher is from Nürnberg, so it would make a bigger sense if Tuscher wanted to have Hürnerbräu close to them instead of moving to another state. But that was how it was, it seems like. And now it's being brewed at the original recipe with the original water from Ansbach, according to this information that I did read. Hauptsache Hürnerbiere, helles, untergärig gebraut, natürlich aus dem Ansbacher Land. That's what it says here on the front label, and the back label, natürlich aus dem Ansbacher Land. Dieses helle Vollbier wird nach dem altbewährten Hürner Originalrezeptur in Lichtenau im Ansbacher Land gebraut. Ein Qualitätsbier aus unserer Region, mild süffisch im Geschmack. Helles Vollbier, Zutaten Brauwasser, Gerstenmalz, Hopfen, Hopfenextrakt, nach dem bayerischen Reinheitsgebot gebraut und auf Flaschen gefüllt für die Hürner GmbH Lichtenau. Alcohol content is 5.1, as I mentioned. There's not more information than this, but it's enough of information. I've been reviewing beers with far less information than this on their labels. Often, when it's small private brewers, they don't even have a back label at all. Just the alcohol volume and address to the brewery. Anyway, finally over to the tasting part now of this Helles Vollbier from Baden-Württemberg, Hürnerbräu, located in Lichtenau. Before it was located in Ansbach in Bavaria, as I've been mentioning, founded 1809. It'll be interesting to try this Helles Vollbier from Baden-Württemberg. So let's pour it up. we have it. Satisfied with the pouring this time. Everything at the same time, and white compact foam head rises up above the edge, looking really nice. Very, very good looking, this one. Compact white crown shows quality, and it's important to keep the right taste in the glass, as I'm always mentioning. Bavarian style drink, while it's a big foam, and maintain it of course all the way through, very important. Color wise, very pale, nice, easy to see through, typical for the style color, yellow, and beautiful with all the small bubbles rises up. Very typical, very fresh and nice. I have high expectations of this one. I've had even before, and they still are very high, because this is really showing quality. Let's get the aroma. Fantastic. Really fresh and nice. This one, easy to feel that it's a Helles, mild, nice in taste. In the aroma, I mean, of course. Yeah, this is gonna be a great one. Really looking forward to try it. So, the Hürner Bräu Helles Vollbier. Prost! Really nice, of course. Great Helles taste. Big recommendation. Fantastic balance, and easy to feel the high quality ingredients, and great brewing process. Yeah, it's simply very well balanced Helles, just the way I want a South German Helles to be. This is from Baden-Württemberg, what was the recipe is from, as I mentioned, Ansbach in Bavaria. This one is really great. So it's a big recommendation. The typical Helles aftertaste tastes quite long, so if you manage to find this one, you really need to try it. It's so great, and it's really screams high quality. They don't need this brewery to scream out how good they are, advertising and so on, because the ones who are finding this brewery is staying with it, I suppose, because it's really great in taste. Fantastic, I would say. Yeah. This is why I like to do my reviews, because it tastes so good. Honestly, what could be better than this? Fantastic Helles, easy to drink, and simply it's fantastic. So big recommendation, as I mentioned. Really fresh and nice and well balanced. Hops, malt, water, just great together. Very great brewed, this one. I think that's it for now. As I've been mentioning before, hope you like my reviews. Feel free to subscribe on my channel, comment, like, whatever, and hope you look forward to next review just as much as I do, because I'm definitely longing to the next reviews always. Hope you do that too, and hope I see you again in next German beer review.